نعم أويا صوتي جوا أول صوت نبي حاجي صوتي يقول هذا
سمعك
حاجة تستخدم هذه شيء
اوكي
Excuse me, you can tell your families, your friends, they can watch and broadcast for the conference right now, like that. Okay?
مش كل كده ولا بس يعني بيتم السؤال ما شاء الله لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. بس نعرف يعني اللي غير مباشر نقدر نمشي. أنا لا ما زال. أوكي. بعمل كاميرا. كاميرا شو حاجة يا الله كاميرا لا على بجوز
I think it's time to get the ball rolling. Good morning, everybody. You are most welcome. I'm really very pleased to be a first speaker in this conference, the second Kurdistan Students' Conference 2014. Let me formally open the conference. I will keep it short, just to say how much you are welcome, how much passion we have put in today's program, and how much we wish that you would enjoy today with us. Excellencies, honorable guests, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me a great pleasure to extend to you all a very welcome on behalf of the Kurdistan Society, the University of Nottingham, to the second Kurdistan Students' Conference 2014, and say how grateful we are to participants and guests who have accepted our invitation to convene this event. It's a great honor for us to host this conference, and it's our hope it will be an interesting and experience for all of you. It's gratifying to note that the agenda of this conference covers a wide range of topics, including humanities and science. Your support and enthusiastic contribution greatly makes the conference more effective and successful. Dear HCDP students, we are hoping to find this conference as a good opportunity to exchange ideas, share experience with others, and approach us to that point what we are here for. We are not here for taking a pile of certificates back to our country, and that's all. If so, it means we have done nothing. If so, it means wasting time and money. Because 100% sure, each of you, if you had stayed in your country, you could have got your certificates, I'm sure. But we are here for taking a flock of educated people back to our country. That's what we are definitely here for. That's what we need to have in our country. I think this time we are spending here is a good opportunity to educate ourselves in all aspects of life, not only focusing on just single subjects and closing our eyes and crossing our ears what's happening around us. Because do not forget, we are living in developed country. We are treating with educated people. So if you want to, we can learn from them. We can take their experience and take it back to our country. And we can understand how they started from scratch. And then finally, we can do for our country what they have done for their countries. So, and then we can develop our country in the future, and we can build our nation. You know, after decades of struggling, you know Mandela what said, you know Mandela what concluded. Mandela concluded education is the most powerful weapon which we can use to change the world. Hope we could do so. Again, on behalf of the Kurdistan Society, I would like to mention many people and organizations here because they did really great for us for this conference to be successful. Firstly, organizing committee, thank you very much for your hard working and perseverance. Professor Aladdin, he has always been supportive and helpful for Kurdish students here. And the University of Nottingham, I have to confess here, without them we couldn't have done this conference. Many thanks for your cooperation. Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research, particularly Dr. Ahmed, many thank you for your personal contribution, and because they have been in touch with us while we are preparing the conference. And many thanks for you all for being here. Thank you. Of course, we have some special guests here. I would like to invite Professor Aladdin to give his speech. Please.
First, thank you very much. Really, gives me a great deal of joy, and I feel really proud to be among you. A fine bunch of young talents, future stars, to gather again, showing enthusiasm for their country, for their science. It is a true honour to be with you. I'm particularly delighted to see that this culture and tradition of holding conferences continuing, and I hope we can carry on doing that for a long time to come. Last year, it was a challenge to get people, and we got a significant number of our scholars to be here with us. And this year, a significant number, and now even greater talent of live streaming it to people back home and elsewhere. So all that means that we are accumulating experience and pooling all those efforts and enthusiasms to do much better in the future. So congratulations to the organizers. I have to say, last year we did work very hard to make it work for the first time. This year, I ended up doing nothing. They just did it. It just happened. But you can see when something happens smoothly, you can tell how much hard work has gone behind it. So I want to particularly thank the organising committee and the hard work that's gone into it. Of course, Nottingham University sponsorship and everything else. I just want to spend a few minutes to remind you what Kurdistan is going through. Kurdistan is facing great challenges, some of them existential. The challenges are known to you at the moment as we speak. There are threats of extremism at our doorstep. There are challenges of defending the nation from numerous threats while suffering from crisis, financial crisis, military crisis, political crisis, security crisis of our own kind. And we also have problems in our inner strength, problems in our institutions, problems of building our own system of governance. We have great challenges of making the system work for the citizens of Kurdistan, making the government efficient, and we are inheriting, we have long inherited immense problems from the previous systems that we had to deal with. That includes the problems of corruption, sovereignty of law, social justice, professionalism, integrating education with the market, accommodating all that, increasing external investment in Kurdistan, building the infrastructure. All of these are challenges that Kurdistan never had to deal with in the distant past. Now we're finding it very so all these challenges of building institutions of Kurdistan with the ambition of going fast towards independence, all of these need professionals. They need professional leaders on the ground. They need people. They need well-qualified, young, skilled, talented people who can just get on with it. For a long, long time, Kurdistan was isolated from the rest of the world, lacked the access, the opportunity to train its leaders in centers of excellence. For the first time in the last few years, we had the opportunity of investing in our own young people, in our own nation. And luckily, this became possible, and many of you benefited from these opportunities. So the KRG's investment in you and your future is one way of addressing those challenges, those problems of running the country and putting it on track towards independence. So this is our shared vision, our common vision. This is our common destiny. And we in Kurdistan, we in the entire Kurdish community, whether it's in Kurdistan or in diaspora, we are looking at you and your colleagues to take what you can take from those centers of excellence in those countries that you learn from and take it back to Kurdistan and build a nation. Kazan just referred to something very important, and that is taking back certificates is the basic part, the essential part, but that is taken for granted. You are talented, that's why you are there. You're expected to do well. You're expected to pass your exams and take back a certificate. But this is not why you're here alone. You're here to learn the values of democracy, the values of human rights, to know how the world ticks, to know how you can build an efficient system. You can acquire those skills that would complement your leadership qualities. Take them back, be a star, be a role model for your future students. Future students in Kurdistan should see you as a role model to imitate, to learn from you, to be inspired by. And this is what you take back. You don't take back just your PhD or your MSc, because that is the basic, that is expected of you. But what you take back are the values of how to respect each other, how to work together, work hard to build a nation that is your nation as well as that of everybody around you. So Kurdistan is looking forward to having you back and taking your right places in leading your institutions that you work for and leading your families, your friends, as well as leading those big army of professionals who will one day work for you and guide them in the right way. So you are not sent just to be certificate holders, you are sent to be potential leaders, to express all your talents, learn the skills, and take back those qualities, and then lead. Lead in the true sense of the word. And that's what we expect of you. I don't want to keep you for too long, but I just want to tell you how proud we are to have you, for you to work so hard, to spend your young years of your peak time in places investing in your own education and trying to make the most of these opportunities. The people in Kurdistan are expecting you to live up to those investments that have been made in you. And Kurdistan needs you as you need Kurdistan. Luckily, your interest, your ambition is actually in direct line, in proportion, in line with the destiny of Kurdistan. So your interest and that of Kurdistan is actually on the same track. And the track is on a roadmap. The roadmap is leading to, hopefully, independence in our lifetime. When you go back, one of the biggest things that wait for you is the reform of the system. The reform of system of education, higher education, or any other discipline you're working. Starting the reform process is one thing. Sustaining it, consolidating, getting it to reach the milestone is another. All we did was to initiate the reform process. But you are the ones responsible for building on it, taking it from one milestone to another. So I'm really hopeful, and when I look at you, I feel optimistic that the reform process will continue. With your leadership, it will reach its destination. So I wish you a good conference. I hope you enjoyed it, I hope you learned from it. And most importantly, try to make friends here. Try to widen your network. Don't confine yourself to your own friend, to your own partner. Because you're here to build certain kind of networks and bondages that will stay with you for life when you go back. You will not believe it, how many people, years after they have gone back, they say, oh, we were together. Whatever party you're from, whatever affiliation, whatever geographical location you're from, you find that one day, years later, this bondage that you have here, this relationship that you built here, will come back to serve you, whether it's socially or professionally. One way or the other, you feel affection, you feel common memories, you feel like you have so much in common that you can spend hours recalling those wonderful memories. The sweet memories you take back here is what connects you together. Don't underestimate it. You already have a lot of common dreams and common memories without you realizing. And you realize them more when you go back. So please use this conference to extend that network, to get to know each other, not by face, but by name, by detail, show interest, look at each other's posters. Over lunch, go and get to know new friends. Don't feel like there's a psychological barrier. If somebody you've not met before, you've seen them before, but you don't know their names, just go and say, look, this is what my name is. This is my name, what's your name? This is what I do, what do you do? And suddenly, there is this friendship. You crack barriers, psychological barriers, physical barriers, and everything. And interestingly, last year, from the start to the end, nobody asked the other, where you're from and which party you belong to, what's your color, what's your affiliation. Nobody asked that. You don't need to, because what brings you here together is actually way beyond all these barriers. So I wish you a good conference, I wish you a good day and a good investment in your future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor, and thank you for your speech. We have another special guest from the International Office.
Well, thank you for inviting us here today to give our gratitude, actually, to Professor Lumpy for speaking very stirring words. On behalf of the International Office and the whole community of students and staff here at the university, we would like to welcome you, obviously, to the university, to those who are not from the university. This is the second conference of Kurdish PhD students to be held here at the university, and we hope that this one is at least as enjoyable as the last one, if not more so, and beneficial to you all in terms of networking and the connections that you build. By the time that you end here, your studies at the university, hopefully you will come to love firstly the British weather, of course, but also leave with fond memories of your studies and all the friends that you have made from all parts of the globe. As Professor Ardi mentions, this is a key part of your mandate here, to meet new people, to build connections that you'll go on to benefit from. And friendships are important. The University of Nottingham International Office has made a commitment to supporting students from Kurdistan and has visited regularly since October 2010. And many of you will know from my office people who have travelled to the region in the past, my director, Vincenzo Raymond, and also Mrs. Claire Taylor, who unfortunately couldn't be here today. We have built many friendships over the years in Kurdistan, and we continue to welcome future leaders and bright talented students from the region with every new intake. The University of Nottingham has a long-standing association with the region and has a significant number of students from Kurdistan Regional Government supported by them, and we hope to welcome more in the future. And the university's Professor Al-Dean has been crucial to the historic success of Nottingham in this association with the region, and we thank you personally for your support with that. PhD students choosing to come to the UK from Kurdistan are always welcomed and always make a tremendous impact here in the UK at the universities they attend, and they are greatly valued by the departments that they join. Here, the university's history dates back to 1881, with the Royal Charter being awarded in 1948, conferring its university status. The university has continued to grow since then here at Nottingham, with an additional 3 campuses here in the UK and 2 overseas. The University of Nottingham is a leading UK university, and indeed one of the leading universities in the world, in the top 1% of universities worldwide. It is, of course, a research-led university and recruits its faculty and students from across the globe, and is committed to internationalising all of its core activities. And we do place great value on our PhD incoming students, as they further the bounds of knowledge in our faculties and departments, and you are all key to that. In the last research assessment exercise, Nottingham came 7th in the UK, and our research was judged to be of international quality, and almost 60% defined as world-leading or internationally excellent. And throughout its history, Nottingham has attracted talented students and academics and speakers from across the world. In June 1930, Albert Einstein lectured in the Great Hall on the topic of general relativity. In 1931, the Indian leader Mahatma Gandhi came to visit his nephew, actually, Joshi, who was actually working at Siemens at the time on an internship, but also a student here at Nottingham. And today, Nottingham is well known for its Nobel Prize winners, including the 2003 Nobel Prize winner for medicine, Sir Peter Mansfield, for his pioneering work on the MRI scanner, and Nottingham is forever known as its connection with the MRI scanner. So you and our students, following the footsteps of great minds, I wish you all the very best in your studies in the years ahead, whether you're studying here at the University of Nottingham or at any one of the 161 UK universities. I know that many of you have been in the UK for many years and you have families here, so you've become accustomed to our quaint customs and rituals. However, in parting, we would like to give you some final leaving advice, which is, of course, always remember to drive on the left-hand side of the road, never go to the post office on Sunday, and of course, always carry an umbrella, particularly when heading into winter. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that interesting speech. I think it's time for presentation. I would like to invite Aras, Jalizada, and Awad Muhammad to run the first session of our presentation. Please.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This will have the presentation for the first time for Farah Islamic Nationally. Each presenter has 12 minutes to present his work and 3 minutes to answer the audience questions.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for coming. My name is Farah. I'm a PhD student in Nottingham Trent University. My field is architecture and urban design. I was the assistant lecturer at the University of Nottingham, and also managing and running partner my own group, Horizon for Architecture, Construction, and Investment. My PhD, actually this presentation today is extracted from my PhD study, which is about change and continuity in all the fabric of the pursuit area of RB, typology and morphology. The title of my presentation is the Southgate, the persistent or core urban elements of the old city of RB. Let's start first with the background of the city and its region. As all we know that Mesopotamia is considered to be the oldest continent. Mesopotamia is it is the oldest civilization in the world, and many ancient cities were initiated between the two rivers, Tigris and Euphrates, and one of them, Erbil. Erbil now is the capital of Kurdistan region, and it is the oldest continuously inhabited city in the world. The city, in 2007, was listed under the Iraqi list of the World Heritage Site in UNESCO, and luckily enough that recently this year it was entered in the World Heritage Site in UNESCO. Erbil has faced lots of changes and urban rapidly growth, especially after the war of Iraq 2003. And different studies indicate that the city is facing challenges in terms of its identity and peculiarity, and it's important to preserve the peculiarity of the city. So, in general, different studies highlight that, like Curtis, Aldorusi, and Yaka indicate that in order to preserve the peculiarity of the city, it is important to understand the old urban fabric of the city. So, the old urban fabric of the city of Erbil is the old citadel and the souk area that, and other settlements that surround the citadel itself. The study adapts morphological study in order to understand the changes that happen to the old urban fabric and also extract the core urban elements that help to constitute this urban fabric. So the definition of the Kurdistan of core urban elements in this study is that these elements work as a catalyst to growth, for the growth and change, and play a vital role in the old urban fabric of the city. They rebel through monitoring the changes that happen to the city throughout the history, and also they can be materialized for different aspects, like could be urban elements, like path and node, or just concept that is still existing in this area, or like an urban artifact or urban pattern. So the aim of this presentation is to argue that the gate, the south gate, the main gate of the citadel, is one of the vital urban elements that are still existing and play a vital role in the evolution of the settlement that surround the area, and also the citadel, its change and impact the change of the urban fabric. So the objective of this presentation is to highlight the changes that happen to the main gate itself, and also to understand how the old urban fabric of the citadel and the souk area adapted itself to accommodate its relationship with the gate. The analysis will be divided into 3 stages, and it starts from 1745 and end to the present, 2014 or 13. The reason of choosing 1745 is that at that time, the gate, the south gate, was built again, rebuilt by Ottoman treasury after the deconstruction that happened to the gate because of the siege of Nader Shah of Iran. So the analysis will be on understanding the changes that happened to the gate itself, and also the impact of the gate on the old urban fabric of the souk, as I said, and the citadel. From the stage 1, we can see here the beautiful engraving photograph of the gate here of the citadel works like in the past, worked functionally and normally, like to protect the citadel and to present the shore routes between the citadel and the souk area. It was a landmark of the city, aside the minaret, of course, and also, as I said, it works a node and a landmark. By the second half of 19th century, we can see that the gate absorbed another function. A new layer has been added, so they added sarai, which is the office of the official administration, and also cell jail was added to the gate. So the changes have happened to the function of the gate. And later on in 1923, by the mayor of Erbil, there was an order to open another gate, which is the eastern gate, and that reduced the function of the main gate itself. By the end of 40s, and the sarai has been demolished, as we can see here. This is the sarai, and this is the main gate. This sarai was demolished because of the construction reason, and unfortunately there was no there was no conservation, no rehabilitation for this, so they demolished the Salah. Later on, in the end of 1950s, the decision has come to demolish the whole gate because of the safety reason and construction as well. And again, there was no conservation, no rehabilitation for the area. So the gap continued for almost 20 years. In terms of the relationship of the gate with the urban fabric, we can see here that the gate played a vital role in the extending the paths. In terms of the citadel and the old settlement, if we can see here that this is the gate, it works like a knot, and all the paths extended out from the gate itself. And again, the same thing happened to the souk area and to the other settlement. And from this picture, we can see that the dominance of the gate in terms of its shape and height and scale. In the stage 2, by the Iraqi Consultancy Bureau, there was a decision to do some rehabilitation and conservation for the citadel. So they decided to build the skin, and actually this skin has nothing to do with the shape of the citadel, with the identity of Erbil, with the pattern or the type of the wall itself. So we can see here the skin that has been added, and the gap between this skin and this is the wall of the citadel, and the pattern of the design of this skin. We can see its skin of this skin also. It was different, and it doesn't meet any expectation of the citizen themselves, and they were not very happy with that. And the changes of conservation has come again to the old citadel. We can see that they decide to open another gate, which is the north gate, in order to allow the cars to go inside the citadel. So they created the path between the south gate and the north gate on the extent of the vital urban elements that dissolve urban fabric and valuable urban fabric. So they demolish and they extract they construct this path. In the stage 3, we can actually, because the citadel was listed under the Iraqi tentative list of the World Heritage, as I said. So from 2007, it was under the conservation process, and this conservation process continued till now. And one of the changes that happened, they demolished the old urban fabric in the souk, and they created this square, or this open space, and they add some features. Actually, these features, like this cloth and other skin that surround the citadel. In my point of view, personal point of view, and my literature, and viewing the literatures, I think adding these kind of elements is not very inaccurate to add this skin and to add this old elements that has nothing to do with the identity of Erbil, especially this cloth. And somehow with these changes, we can see that the gate is still playing a vital role in the area and still dominating the location. You cannot say the gate, I mean the concept of the threshold between outside and inside. And again, one of the conservation process has come to demolish this skin and rebuild the old gate again. That was in the beginning of 20th century and 19th century. So they rebuilt this again and again. From my personal view, I think this was a very good decision, because in terms of authenticity, there is a controversial issue between rebuild the old building again, but for this landmark of Erbil, I think it was a good decision to build it. So to some of the changes that happened to the gate, we can see that in 1745, the gate functioned very normal. In the middle of 19th century, it absorbed another function, disappeared, then appeared with a different style and design, disappeared again, and was appeared again in 2014. So the historic analysis of the gate suggests that the gate played a vital role in the older fabric, and it works also like a node, a landmark for the city, and beside its functional usage. So the study has concluded that these changes have not just happened, but happened in a way that it was occurred by the control by the gate itself. So these kind of studies very important for any historic city in general to extract and understand the urban elements of any fabric. So it will help the architecture field, urban design field, and also the conservation process. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sarah. And we can take some questions.
The only question is from me is why you are not happy with the new building stuff? What you call the scheme? For me, it's a building.
Yeah.
It looks like a citadel building.
You mean the skin that has
Yes, in the
added
market, it calls it the citadel.
Yeah. And in my, as I said, in my opinion, personal view, and I discussed that with lots of some of architects and even photographs and artisans. When they add this landmark, this one, the clock, as you know, that there's something like a pyramid above the clock. It's very ugly, and there is nothing. It has nothing to do with the identity of the city. We have a big citadel. It has a rich urban pattern, a rich identity. So if we analyze and understand these patterns, we can apply it and we can use it. So I think it started to compete the minaret itself, and it's not good for the visual look. And also the skin, adding the skin on the suit. Why we add the skin on the suit? Why we are shaming from this building? I found it's a part of the history of the city, part of the architecture.